Welcome to the launch of the Titleist GT Wood range. Follow me and let's have a deep dive into the tech that's involved in all their new products. So, launch day for the GT series Titleist Woods. So we're going to go through the tech. This is particularly around the tech that's involved in the driver and the fairways, the new heads, and the key one being the seamless Thermoform Crown. So what does that mean? So, well, seamless, no seam. So, but the crown itself it's a completely new material that Titleist have had made specifically for them. They have a composites expert within the team who goes around. He lectures on composites, so he goes to all the conferences around composites, and he's an expert in his field. And so what they've done is managed to make a completely new material, which has allowed them to save weight in the crown. This is the key thing that facilitates some of the other changes in the heads as well. The top priority for Titleist for these models was improving speed and improving just general forgiveness across the head. So without saving weight, it's hard to do that because you can't place the weight in different places. And that's something that over the years, every single brand has been trying to do. So by saving all that weight in the crown, the next key technology in the driver is the split mass construction. So we're going to focus on the driver heads for now. So split mass construction actually does exactly what it says on the tin. By going lighter in the crown, the weight saving there has allowed them to push weight forwards. So a forward center of gravity increases ball speed, reduces spin. So that's something that all the traditionally unforgiving heads, who've been very low spin, very high ball speed, but very little margin of error. So there's always been a payoff. What they've also done is push weight back, so giving that higher MOI, giving that little bit more stability and forgiveness back. So in principle, trying to get the best of both worlds. Now, this is something that realistically is very, very hard to achieve. There are other brands in the past and other models have claimed the same thing, and we have seen some compromised performance. But on initial sight with these, they look like it's a really good balance of performance from moving that weight front and back. One of the other aspects, again by saving weight and allowing them to do what they want to with the sizing and the shaping of the heads, is improved aerodynamics. So the line around the crown, the line around the sole, the shaping allows the air to flow better over the head. Now we all look at those who've come into their cars and design Formula One, all talk about aero being massively important. It's the same thing with the driver. As these move through the air and swing through, the shaping, the way the air flows across the inside of the head, through the sole, across the top, all helps improve stability through the air, but also speed through the air. So gaining a little bit of ball speed through club speed gain. Now, it is marginal, but it is there, and every brand's trying to do it. The next aspect is within the face. Again, a little bit of weight saving in the crown means that the construction of the face can be augmented. So there is a titanium ring around the outside of the face, which they've made more stable. So they've been able to reinforce this a little bit more. And what that does, by making the outside of the face a little bit more rigid, it means that the inside of the face, the middle, can be a little bit more responsive. So all of the energy is reflected back into the ball, increasing ball speed off the center of the face. There's a slight payoff to that, and normally by making the outside more rigid, you're slowing down the outside. However, the weight saving has allowed them to work on the VFT, the variable face thickness. So by going thinner on the outside, they've actually countered that reinforced titanium ring on the outside to keep the off-center performance. Word has it, improve the off-center performance. So across the whole face, they've managed to work on the performance and the ball speed. And this is where some of their ball speed gains have come from, or the claims of ball speed gain have come from, because there is a structurally different face. As you'll see from the images that we're showing as well, and how that construction happens within it to improve ball speed on every part of the face. So that's the inside of the face done. We then have the outside of the face. So they've worked on, in feedback with the tour players, the actual graphics on the front of the face. So what they've done with these is made sure that they make it easier to center the ball strike on the face. Sometimes the graphics on the face can look a little bit out of alignment when you're standing at address. So actually make it quite hard to visibly line up the ball with the center of the face. And that's something that they've really worked hard on with the improved graphics on the face there as well. So there's both internal and external on the face improvements that Titleist have made. And then we have the three models. So there is the continuation of the 2, 3 and 4 series. So within the range, the GT2, as with TSR2, it's the most stable, it's the highest MOI of the models. So this one has a little bit of a longer front to back distance with a slightly shallower face. So the shallower face, again, lowering the CG and getting that higher launch, lower spin ball flight to it. 460cc, and is done in 8, 9, 10 and 11 degrees of loft, both in right and left-handed. Then we move to GT3. Now GT3, as with TSR3, has that adjustability. So what's happened is that adjustability has been moved forward rather than at the back. Again, trying to lower and move forward that center of gravity to improve ball speed. So this one, a little bit shorter front to back, but a deeper face. So that deeper face forward CG gives a little bit of a lower spin. It's not quite as forgiving as GT2, but really going for higher ball speeds and that adjustability. Again, 460 cc's, 8, 9 and 10 degrees and 11 degrees in right and left-handed. And then we come on to GT4. As with TSR4, this is really designed as a spin killer. If you have excessive spin and really trying to get that spin rate down, this is the model. It has the front and back weighting as previously, so you've got an 11 gram and a 3 gram that are interchangeable. And so if you put the 11 at the back, it makes it just a little bit more stable, 11 at the front, and it's a real spin killer. So this one is available in 8, 9 and 10 degrees in right and left-handed. Is the most compact of the three models. It's 430 cc, so it's just that little bit smaller, but really designed for higher speed, higher spin, little less forgiving than the GT2, GT3, but really designed about getting that spin down, and to do that you have to have a compromise on stability off center. So we'll move on to the Fairway Woods, and the Fairway Woods for me is where Titleist have made the bigger changes. So reasons for that, you might think the driver being the bigger head, there's more weight to be saved from the crown, but the titanium on the driver was already quite light, so they were 3 times lighter on the driver head. But where the Fairway had a steel crown, it's 5 times lighter the material, so there's proportionally much more of a saving on the Fairway Wood than there is on the driver. That means there's more weight that can be moved around to discretionary, to optimize CG location, to improve performance that bit more. And where TSR was good as a Fairway Wood, the TSR2 never really picked the ball up too well. Well, this, very different. By saving the amount of weight in the crown, this enabled them to go to a forged 465 steel L face. Now by L face, it's a face that wraps around into the sole, so creating that L shape as you move around. And what that does, it's light, very, very strong, and which allows them to go thinner in the face. That allows the center of mass to move even lower, which then helps with launch, helps with ball speed. But that wraparound into the sole means that can actually strengthen and stabilize the bottom part of the face. And the bottom part of the face is the weakest part of the head. It's always the bit that you don't want to strike it on, because it comes out low, comes out dead, you lose a load of ball speed and you gain a load of spin. By stabilizing it, moving that center of gravity lower, it keeps the center of gravity into the base of the ball, which flights it up, but it also keeps the ball striking above the CG line, or up the face proportionally a little bit more. Because that center of gravity sits lower, you're getting higher launch but better spin. And that's really noticeable on the GT2 versus TSR2. So that L cup face is a massive key to the performance on both heads. So GT2, that weight's gone lower, a little further forward, higher launch, lower spin. GT3, we still have that adjustability in the sole, and similar to the driver, that adjustability has moved, it's still in that forward position on the face. So again, low and forward, higher ball speed, maximum adjustability. But again, that lighter crown allows them to move the center of gravity deeper. So on GT3, the focus hasn't been on moving that weight forwards like it was on GT2 to keep that spin down. It's about moving it deeper and down, which creates a little bit better launch, something that is always good on Fairway Woods, but it was already a low spin head. So GT3 is a deeper face, which suits someone who hits down a little bit more. It's going to look a little bit more inviting, but it was already low spin. We didn't need that to come down any lower, but helping a little bit with launch with that lighter crown and lower center of mass, definite improvement on the GT3. They have also worked on some of the shaping of the head. So a key thing has been shallowing off the curvature of the sole. So this flattens the sole down and keeps the toe and the heel side a little bit lower to the ground as well. So often what happens, if you get a kind of curved sole, then the toe side and the heel side sit up off the ground, which again makes the strike thin if you catch it low or heel. By flattening that off, it keeps the center of the base of the sole sitting down to the ground, which helps a higher strike up the face, which is better for ball speed, better for launch, better for spin, so better all round. And so that's been a really good change on these heads as well. So Only other differences between the heads, the GT2 in the 3-wood is a 200cc, GT3 177, so the GT3 is a little bit more compact, again getting that mass sitting up a little bit higher, a little further forward, doesn't need to be quite as big, whereas the lower, deeper CG, higher launching GT2, getting that weight low in the head, stretching it back for forgiveness, hence that bigger footprint. GT2 is available in 13.5, 15, 16.5, 18 and 21 degree lofts, both right and left-handed. GT3, 15, 18 and 21 in both right and left-handed. So not as many loft options, but that lower launch, lower spin means not needing the super low loft that the GT2 has. So hope you've liked our roundup of the tech on the GT series. So completely new heads, really different construction, really excited to get fitting with these. If you like this, then as with all our videos, subscribe, like, and we'll be hitting these to test between, look at the data differences between the two models in the follow-up video. So if you like this, have a look at that one, and then delve a little bit deeper into the new Titleist GT range.